Local is very important. We will recover first locally. We will recover as local economies. People are creating businesses and investing in local relationships. Food is essentially local. Cheese is local. I want chefs and restaurants and grocers and consumers who live in this part of the country to know Firefly.
When it's nice out, after they're done milking, they come out and they head right on there. Yeah. It looks like they're ready to go for a hayride. Yeah. I was in Baltimore, Raleigh, North Carolina, and then Minnesota, and we decided we were going to move back to Pennsylvania. Well, I decided I was going to move back to Pennsylvania and told my wife she can come with me if she wants. I was born and raised right here at the home place, and my grandfather's farm was a dairy farm, and always enjoyed the animals, and I always enjoyed the milking part of it, so thought it would be something nifty to try, and thought we'd give it a whirl. Right now we have somewhere around 140 animals here. Goats are always curious. They want to come over and snoop around. I think they're pretty smart. They're creative. All my latches are on the outside. We learned the hard way. We put latches on the inside. Oh yeah, they open them.
Yeah.
I like to see people supporting the small farmer, because personally, I think the country's getting away from that. I mean, you see these corporate farms, and I don't think they really care what their products are like. I think when you get down to the smaller guy, I think they put more blood, sweat, and tears into their product, and I think they care a little bit more, putting back to Mother Earth.
The milk truck will drive up on the side of the building where we walked in, and they'll pump the raw goat milk into these tanks, pumping it into vat pasteurizers and making however many batches the load will make. My great-grandfather made cheese in Switzerland, and I summered on a farm growing up. So part of buying a 130-acre farm in Garrett County was also sort of capturing that little bit of my family and my history.
We actually bought the farm in 1997. What made it goat cheese was our neighbor had a few goats.
We asked, could we milk them and try making cheese, and they said yes.
Do some research and came up with our first cheese, actually, the Allegheny Chef.
We've got our cultured Allegheny Chef that sat overnight, and the milk has coagulated into its cheese form and produced a thin layer of whey on the top that we're going to pre-drain off before we separate it into the bags. This is kind of my second profession. I was a chef for about 10 years up in Pittsburgh.
We got married and wanted to move to the country.
We love coming down here to Deep Creek and saw a little 2-line ad for an apprentice cheesemaker and thought, wow, that might be cool.
It was sort of a gut feeling. Everything about Firefly really sparked our interest.
I didn't know anything about cheese production. I didn't know anything about goat cheese.
It's about creativity. It's about the artisanship of what goes on behind that glass, and making sure that we're investing in artisans and not fancy big stainless steel equipment.
We don't want to become a mass-produced, like it's a craft where they use a lot of machinery, make small batches, do everything by hand.
When you make handmade cheese with beautiful milk and people taste it, they start to taste a difference.
You might think that all the wheels are the same, but I can look at each one and all I see is imperfection. I know it sounds weird, but that's what we're striving for, at least in the back, is perfecting a process that can't be perfected.
People are very interested in knowing where the food is from.
All of us at Firefly Farms completely believe in sourcing locally.
We source our milk from 4 farms they're local. They're 12 miles away.
We recognize the economic value, the personal value, and so we want our store to reflect that. When you taste something that's made in your region, you taste a difference.
We talk a lot as a management team about how big.
How far do you take it? How big do you get? We'll do it in a way that we keep the handmade processes, and that's kind of what we're striving to do. To grow in that organic, handmade, still keep it artisan product. So that's what we'll do.
I want Firefly to be a meaningful regional brand. That's the future.